When I dropped my first song, I dropped was in like 2000, and I shot a video for it. And Eric Sermon actually got a hold of it. He wanted me to be Def Squad. I was there when he made the Marvin.
How did you transition from DJ to producer?
Through high school, we'd always record ourselves rapping. When I graduated high school, I actually went to school upstate for music.
Who was your favorite DJ/rapper?
One of them I'm gonna see tonight, my man Diamond D, no more as a producer, but he's an official DJ. 14 records, I gave him 14 hooks. Knocked them shits out the park. Put Rick Ross on it, 2 Chainz, Wiz Khalifa, fucking CeeLo Green. Star-studded cast. We knocked the whole shit out over Zoom, and every shit that I gave him, I already had a hook ready for him. And them shits, I had a lot of different studio experiences. I always mentioned one when I did an album with Styles P. That was because he used to not write, and he used to...
Who's an artist that you haven't worked with yet?
Well, there's a guy named...
Yes, sir. We back at it. Dímelo mi gente. You already know where we at. Podcast Central. Coastal Chronicles NYC. I'm your boy, Tank Sinatra, a.k.a. Taino Domingo. Can I say my other part since you
do what you do, bro. Do what you do.
Listen, call me anything but late for dinner, man. You already know what it is, man. You feel me? Because I love to eat, man. And you heard the voice right next to me, man. Why wouldn't he be next to me? The activation king of NYC. Dren Star, talk to the people, man.
Yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? We back at it. You know what I'm saying? Coastal Chronicles NYC, Duce Lounge, big activations. You know what I'm saying? Got to shout out our sponsors. Duce, of course. Rock Nation Plains family. You know what I'm saying? And big shout out to my peoples at Godspeed. They sent me
about to say it.
You know what I'm saying? They sent me a nice care package.
You know you touching nerves out here.
Yeah,
when
you know
people start sending you merch.
Word, you know
you
what I'm saying?
Understand what I'm saying?
The packages are starting to come in. You know, the love is felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so what I need y'all to do is like, subscribe, notify, all types of shit, man. Y'all just watching and ain't even touching buttons. Touch them buttons, man.
Shout out to our listener family, our listener network. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, we getting right for 25.
25. Right. We up, baby. We up.
Listen,
do
this one right here, though.
Do what
I
you
ain't
do.
Gonna lie, this one right here, despite the jacket he got on, I gotta give him his props.
Okay.
You feel me? Our next guest didn't just show up, he showed out. A man who needed no invitation to the game. He built his own lane and made it undeniable. From the streets of New Rochelle, New York, to the international club scene, he's been a force behind the boards, on the decks, and in the booth. Starting young, teaching himself how to scratch, mix, and blend until his name rang bells. That grind earned him second place at the 2003 East Coast Finals of Guitar Center's DJ Battles and 3 consecutive Justo Mixtape Award nominations. And if you caught the Chop Shot on WICB radio, you already know he's been setting the bar since day one. But he's not just any DJ, he's one of the DJs. Touring with heavyweights like Raekwon, Coogee Rap, and Nori, spinning in clubs across the globe, he likes it, and leaving his mark wherever he goes. And his catalog, Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum. His production is stamped on some of hip-hop's most iconic tracks. From Raekwon, Ghostface, to Mariah Carey's The Emancipation of Mimi, his beats are straight fire, and he's just as lethal on the mic. Underground classics like Liquid Heat, co-founding New York City's legendary open mic End of the Week, and to win that Tommy Hilfiger National Demo Contest, he's been a certified problem on all fronts. He isn't just in the industry, he's a movement. Collaborating with icons, appearing on the Source Magazine's Unside Hype and Vibe, to name a few. Managing Latin artist Sergio Veneno, and even rocking stages with Aventura. He mastered every corner of the game. That being said, let me introduce to you Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum producer, DJ, MC, turntablist, goddamn, Scram Jones. Talk to the people, brother.
Wow, man, how much I owe you for that?
Listen, this is what we do,
bro.
over
You
here.
hired.
This is what we do over here, beloved.
Nah, I appreciate that intro. You definitely went back in the time with some of them, which is appreciative. But thank you for having me. We still here, man. We're still here.
Listen, King. Like I just told you before we came inside, you know, that's the way that I could give you your flowers, bro.
Appreciate
you
that.
You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, I just appreciate you coming through and stepping in the building, joining us so we can have this dope conversation, because that's what we're going to have, a dope conversation tonight.
Over some Duce. You know
yes, sir. How you feeling, though?
I'm feeling good, man. It's a little brick outside, but, you know.
Regular New York shit around this time.
We doing what we got to do. We keep it pushing. We used to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I want to start with the beginning, because a lot of times, you know, when you do other interviews and things like that, like they just ask you like the same questions. But what we like to do here, we like to start at the beginning so people can understand the process and see how a person came from their background and things like that to where they at this moment. So with that being said, New Rochelle, how did you grow up? Two family home, brothers, sisters?
I grew up with a sister. You know what I'm saying? My parents are actually still together to this day. So, you know, I grew up, you know.
Salute to them.
You know, whatever, middle class you could say, you know, all public schools in New Rochelle, New Rochelle High School and all that. And yeah, hip-hop since elementary school was around me. I mean, New Rochelle's only 10 minutes from the Bronx, you know what I mean? So it's like I remember second grade, people breakdancing, recess, the cardboard boxes, and the girls doing the double dutch, and dudes beatboxing and shit. And I remember like that early in second grade, how much I was like, yo, this is fire. And, back in the days, I thought hip hop was breakdancing music. When I saw breakdancers, I would tell my mom, can you get me some breakdancing music? Like, I didn't know it was called hip hop, and she did for Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever. She got me 2 cassettes. She got me the breaking soundtrack. No, it wasn't even cassettes. It was actually vinyl. At the time, I had the Fisher Price, straight up Fisher Price.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I got the breaking soundtrack. And I got nothing called it was just called Breakdance. It was like a compilation, but it had like Jam on it and like Wheels of Steel, like all like the classic records on it. That and Michael Jackson Thriller were my first 3 records. So I used to just have that on repeat and run around my house like, try to flip on my back. She'd always just tell you, break your neck, trying to do the suicides. So my intro to hip hop was definitely elementary school breakdancing, you know what I'm saying? And me trying to break, we had a little breakdancing crew, but I wasn't even that nice. I was just a spaz, you know what I mean? Like I try my best to do shit, but I can't even say I was that good, But that made me love the energy that was being pumped in the hip hop, you know what I mean? And then later, I just became an avid cassette, collector. Then after cassettes, it was CDs. Then I realized the DJs are getting everything first on the vinyls. So I ran to become a DJ when I was 15, in 10th grade, because I wanted the exclusives. I didn't know I'd be sitting there for hours practicing scratches, and I didn't think about with every 2 turntables comes a microphone. So I didn't think we'd all be freestyling after school, me and my boys, and because those vinyls, they got the instrumental on them too. So that was a big thing. When you buy a single, you would have access to the instrumental. So I had all these instrumentals, and people would line up in high school to come to my house after, because my mom would work. You know what I mean? So I had the crib with the turntables and the mic and the instrumentals. You know what I'm saying? And that was like 15. That's when you started smoking and all that. So like we would have ciphers every day after school, and I copped the 4-track, and that's basically the intro. I know I fast forwarded all the way to high school, but that's like the battery was built when I was young, but then I just was like a collector, and the collector turned into being a DJ, and then the DJ, opened up, the rest of the elements and bringing people to the crib to record.
So in New Rochelle, right? Because you said it's outside of the Bronx and stuff like that. That's like Queens don't want to take Long Island and shit like that. Like, I know y'all motherfucking Queens. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. You know what I'm saying? But were you the only one, or did you have like friends? Because I know in high school, like you just finished saying, you had people coming to the crib like that. Were you the only one that was on hip hop at that time, or was it a collective, like your hood, your neighborhood was, everybody was trying to break dance and all that shit?
I mean, listen, it was obviously, hip hop was just booming, period, like in general. Obviously, I gravitated to the people that were doing it, and those were the kids from the projects, you know what I'm saying? And those are the kids that were waiting after school for me. My other friends that I grew up with, we were always collectors and they loved it. When it came to actually doing it, is when, you know what I'm saying, is when like the hood, I started being around the cats that were, you know what I'm saying, that were more engulfed in it. And yeah, that was the answer to the question, right?
So you started at
No, that's all.
So you started at 15, right?
15, I got my first turntable.
All right, so that's when you really got the turntable, you got the feel of it, you know what's going on. This is obviously something you knew you wanted to do. How long did it take you to really like get recognized and like really pop off and get your weight up?
It took a while. I had a lot of proving to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the only like white kid in my school that was the DJ. There was a bunch of other brothers there that were like, fuck that white boy. You know what I'm saying? And I would battle them. Like, battle me then. Come to my mom's house after school. And I battled everybody. Tore them up.
Okay.
Like literally, like I would sit there for hours after school practicing, waiting for you know what I'm saying? And so it took me a while to get that type of recognition, just being who I was, whatever face value in that. But I earned it, you know what I'm saying? Like I earned it when dudes got up, and then we was hanging out every day. But there was, you know what I mean? But I got checked. I got checked multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I would hear dudes, because there was a couple dudes that had record deals. Like, I went to school, like, Brand Nubian, you know, is from my town. But all their brothers and sisters I went to school with. And then there was another group called Rough House that I don't know if y'all remember. There was another group that came out around that time from my town that they was in my classes. They stopped coming to class once they got that deal. And then I'd, like, run into that DJ, and I heard he was talking shit, and I'd be like, battle me. He's like, yo, get a record deal first, Scram, then I'll come see you. I'm like, I'll never forget that. You know, and to this day I see you. That's the homie. But yeah, I got checked, but I didn't mind getting checked because it was in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't understand what a fucking fanatic I was since a child. So nobody was out. You know what I mean? Like, dudes would walk in, like, we go to Fordham and get mixtapes. The next day, you know, show the mixtapes we got, who got the most exclusive. So we used to, like, battle with mixtapes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, I got the new Chill Will, I got the new Ron G, I got the new whatever. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? And we would literally battle. But the second I got those records, I had them. Because I would go down to Rock and Soul, get the bootlegs. I would go, you know what I mean?
White labels, yeah.
I was like, you ain't got this, and I got the instrumental. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So that's how it started, being a collector, and then, you know, staying up late to Stretch and Bob, staying up till 5 in the morning on Thursdays.
KCR,
you know,
that was a good
on
old days.
Wednesdays with Mayhem and what's his name, Martin Moore. Like, when, you know what I mean? Like, I'd stay up till 5 in the morning, listen to Stretch, Bob, and Lord Sear, and recording every, you know, waking up to flip the cassette.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, they're gonna play something at the end. I have to stay awake. You know?
Yeah, they always did that.
And then the next day, yo, lunchtime, did y'all hear what they played some shit called Wu-Tang Clan? Like, it was like, oh, like Wu-Tang Clan. Did you hear that last night? Like, we didn't know what it was. Like, yo, you heard that too? Like, I remember that day in the lunchroom when they played Protect Your Neck. The conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was a fanatic, you know?
Let me ask you this, right? Because I think this is every DJ that does this. Well, like I said, I might be wrong. So my cousin was a DJ, right? This motherfucker used to play Chief Rocker 1,000 times. What was your one song that you put on that? I'm pretty sure that was that song that you probably battled everybody that you was for on that motherfucker.
That got fuzziness on it, because when you, back in the days, a needle will make that record fuzzy if you keep scratching on it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What was that track that had you? Man, you want to come through? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You know what was a good one? Beats to the Rhymes, Run DMC. Because that got that Nautilus sample. But then at the end of every one is like a sound bite of cut. It's like, yo, or it's like, check it out, or it's like, you know, god damn. Like, there's all these, they always end with a sound bite that you can keep bringing back.
Right.
They had a little beatbox section, so that Beats to the Rhymes was my shit.
That's like the first ad-libs.
Yeah.
Really, you know what I'm saying?
That one right there was always my go-to. And then, you know, I could say, like, you know, Peter Piper and shit, but those were the records, even though it sound generic, because it's like, that's some Jazzy Jeff shit, or that's some, you know,
chill,
Rock Raider shit.
Chill. Don't disrespect Jazzy Jeff. That motherfucker's a monster.
No, I just mean that's his routine.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying, like, hold on.
Oh, yeah. No.
They might not know, but Jazzy Jeff gets super busy.
Of course. These are my idols, man. This is what I grew up listening to. So when I seen them getting busy, him and Kid Capri on Def Comedy Jam, when I finally got to see visual, you know what I mean?
Legendary.
Jam Master Jay on stage, like, then you were like, wow, like, you could actually, you know what I mean, be part of the group and be part of, you know what I mean, without be on stage without being that rapper. And I don't know, it was just the way that they controlled the crowds and engaged with the crowds. So you were like, yo, I want to do that. Like, these guys is crazy.
So what's your take now on the whole DJ culture now with Serato and all of this digital era? Like, I mean, you come from the crate era, so like, you know what it is to grind out and carry 5 crates around to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
well, what's your take on it now?
At first, I had like a love-hate relationship, because I thought it was almost like cheating. Like, we spent our whole life being collectors of records and spending so much money on these records, and then, you know, a program comes out where you don't need the records no more, and you could download the shit for free or download it real easy. And it was just like, damn. And a lot of the skill was also balancing that needle, making sure, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I always tell new DJs, like, we DJ'd blind. We wasn't looking at waveforms.
Nothing.
We weren't looking at beat. We didn't know what a BPM was. My crates, I would know, okay, these are the same tempo. That's all I would know. These are the same tempo. I wouldn't know these are the 80s and these are the 90s.
Sometimes you put stickers on it and all that.
Yeah, like, you would just know these records go together. So at first I was like, I was mad, you know what I mean? Because I was looking on my records. But then when I learned the program and learned how flawless you could do these sets, and now you could level up, because instead of worrying about messing up, like a record skipping or worrying about finding the right spot, you could just go to a cue point, jump to it. You could loop it. You could do this. So now I'm like thinking of, I'm like producing sets instead of just spinning sets. I'm like, yo, when I go into this loop, I could, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to this acapella, and this is like, so I get so creative now with the technology. I love the technology, but when it first came out, I was mad because I took so long, you know, building up my records. You know?
Yeah, I mean everybody did. Like it's crazy. Like I hate saying this. This is my story. Like I hate it though. Like, you know, I started out as a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward, you know, when we collect crates, we collect crates. I had like 75 crates, and
crazy.
When I did my bid, like, you know what I'm saying, I was going through obviously I'm getting locked up, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing time, and I'm going through a transition phase. Long story short, you know, moving apartments, I'm away doing time, my baby moms, my kids, my this, my that. She's like, yo, what's up with these crates? Nigga, what we doing? You know what?
You got rid of them shits, right?
Threw them out, left them on the sidewalk, bro.
Oh, they didn't even try to get
like,
someone to buy them.
Listen, the only one that I told was J Love. J Love's my brother, you know what I'm saying? J Love legend. I called him. I said, yo, bro, do me a favor. Go to my crib. She about to throw everything out. He's bugging. He's like, you know, he got another 200-300 crates in storage. You know, you got to lock them up in storage. Like, that's something you don't want to let go. Like, that's years of blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying?
Still got my.
So he plucked. He was there for like 7 hours, bro.
Oh, just picking out.
Just picking out the jewels. And then he was like, yo, bro.
That's good. At least he got the.
He got the dig. You know what I'm saying?
He got the rock and soul in the street.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that really broke my heart. But like I was going through like some real life situation. So that was secondary. That was it wasn't. But that just sounds crazy. Like when I tell people this story, they're like, "What?" Like I had told this to DJ Enough one time, and you know, because I got a lot of my vinyl from him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, radio. Like back then, like he was at BLS. This is before Hot and Heavy Hitters. Like Heavy Hitters wasn't even a thing. You know what I'm saying? And every time I tell that story, I'm like, it takes a piece of my heart, bro. So like,
but you're not the only one with that story. I heard a lot of DJs have them sad going away stories with their separation of their records. Like, yo, I sold all my shit. I had to get, you know, I talked to Green Land, I talked to a couple of ads, and a lot of them just had to get rid of it.
Yeah, because it just takes too much. It takes
way too much space, and they weren't using them. Everything's digital.
Yeah, you want to hear some crazy shit? Yeah. So for New Year's, we was at a spot, right? And he could elaborate a little bit more than I can because, you know, he just told me pull up. Bro, I went to the DJ section and I seen nothing but crates. I said, yo, where the fuck am I at right now? What was the name of that shit?
It's called Record Room. So Record Room is an all vinyl set.
It's a spot that people. It's a club,
fire.
like a bar club.
Yeah,
right?
it's in Queens. I
think I've seen it online. A couple of DJs.
It's an LIC in Queens, and for New Year's, like they moved the party to Manhattan, but it's only vinyl, bro.
Yeah, there's a couple spots like that.
And I tell you, that motherfucker was rocking that night out. Yeah, but I was just fucked up because I didn't correlate.
Yeah, that's what you were.
Oh, Record Room meaning like motherfuckers is really on because you know. I didn't even hear the vinyl because, you know, you could hear vinyl. Yeah. You've been DJing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was like, oh, shit. But be that as it may, right? I got 2 questions. My first question is your name. And the second question is, after you finish developing your craft, when did you... Oh, answer the first one, then we'll go to the next one.
How I got my name?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my government name is Mark, M-A-R-C, and my last name starts with an S. And when I was young, there was other Marks in my class, and when you were in elementary school, you would have to write your last initial on your shit. So I would write Mark S, Mark S. My dyslexic ass would write that shit backwards, and that shit is Scram. And I used to write that shit on the walls, tag bathrooms, you know what I mean? You'd be doodling on your notebooks. Yeah. So and then when you used to tag everything up, so that was my tag, just by flipping my name around. And then it became my nickname. Like, everyone knew me from middle school on, just as Scram. When I started DJing, it was like DJ Scram. But only later, you know, when you have a nickname and someone always attached something to it. They'd be like, Scram Boogie, Scram Jones.
Yeah.
So it'd be like when it was time to, drop a production, my first production, which was years later, I was like, I don't want it to be produced by DJ Scram, you know? And they was already calling me Scram Jones. Like, I didn't know that was a phrase. I didn't make that phrase up. It's not even a good phrase. If you look it up, it's some foul shit. It's like nondescript, suspect motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even know that.
It's
That's
jail
Like a
shit.
Scram Jones
I
over
remember
there.
Black Rob came on. He's like, you took my name. That's what they called me in jail. This shit, Scram. I was like, oh, word? I was like,
Rest in peace.
you know, but either way, I kind of like being like the black sheep, and it's not black sheep, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like,
I feel
all right,
you.
I'll fuck with it.
I feel you.
So when it was time to put production credit for my first credits, I was like, put Scram Jones. Don't even put DJ Scram. Put Scram Jones. That'll be my alias for production. I'll still be, but then it translated to being my DJ name too, because people just ran with it, you know?
It's I like that story because it's hood. Like same thing applied for me. Like I was always Dren. I
Yeah.
said tag up Dren. I said tag up Dren. So when I started in the music industry and I started getting a little name, the hood added the star part. Yo, he be with all the stars. He be with all the stars. Yo, that's Dren Star. And it just stuck.
Yeah, exactly.
It
You
stuck.
like,
You know what I'm
Scram Jones,
saying?
what up? Everybody
So
like,
now-
where you get the Jones from?
So now that you mentioned the production element, how did you transition from DJ to producer? Like what was the
So it was
the pivot?
So like I said, through high school we'd always record ourselves rapping to the instrumentals, you know, to a 4-track, analog 4-track, one of them Tascams.
That was my second question.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
you know, and they were just dusty and we using other people's beats. So when I graduated high school, I actually went to school upstate for music. I went to Ithaca College. And when I went there freshman year, I met a bunch of kids from Brooklyn, and this one kid bought a beat machine that year. I bought an MPC 3000, and because I always wanted to make my own shit, but he was the first to get it. You know what I mean? So I just learned on his shit, and I started making beats on his shit. And I was like, yo, next year, like I'm gonna save up and get this. And at that time, that shit was like 3 G's. It was too much. Yeah. But then they dropped the 2000, which was like 1200 the following year.
So you never fucked with the MPC 60? You went straight to the 3000?
No, went straight to 3000, first shit I touched.
Okay.
And then my own, then I got the 2000 myself the following year because it was cheaper and it was the newer shit. And so then from that year on, that's it. I just was banging out, and I was actually just making beats for myself because I was rapping. So I was just making demos and shit. And then later on, when I dropped a record, whatever. So I got out of school and I was back in the city and I was running around. I sold my first beat, and I was like, that was it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm always love to write, and I'm always gonna want to release my own music. And to this day, I still want to release my own music because it's like, you know, it's sentimental to you. It's like your expression, regardless of business, regardless of age. You still want to drop your own expression. But I like that I was cut a check without leaving my crib, and I like that, like being behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like your energy's still on the record. So when I came back home, I got an apartment on 238. I was in the Bronx for like 3 years, and within that apartment, I put a mic booth. It was actually a photo booth that turned into a mic booth. I don't know how I got it. And people used to come through every day, and I would just make 1 million beats, do 1 million demos, and we would leak them out. So I was on mad mixtapes with a lot of people. Like I got wavy off of just heads coming to my house and just releasing it, whether it was Hip Hop Game, like on some like
Hip Hop Game.
Hip Hop
That
Game.
website was the number.
I was
bro.
on it,
I'm not gonna say his name, but I got a deal. I got an artist a deal off of that site, bro.
So they supported me the most, and I would just send them mad shit.
Wow, you took it back
Yeah.
just now. Wow,
So
that's
outside of
crazy.
the mixtapes, as much as I would do my own mixtapes and put my own records on, I did. But I would, you know what I'm saying? But I would throw it on the gram too. So, not the gram.
No,
the
the gram wasn't even out.
The web.
Yeah.
So
that was our gram back in the day.
Exactly.
Yo, but Hip Hop Game was the first site that had all the exclusives,
Yeah.
bro.
The first shit that my shit got leaked, my demo got leaked on Napster first.
Okay, yeah, Napster
So
was-
now I had like 12
What
songs of me
didn't
rapping
get-
that I didn't even want to come out, but then people was messaging me, I like your shit, you know. And then we started doing the open mic show every week, every Sunday. It was called the End of the Week, where I was DJing for MCs every week for like 5 years. Every Sunday in LES, you know, End of the Week, WEAK. So every week there would be, you know, I would make sure I had a creative, crazy beats. I'd go to Fat Beats, Rock and Soul, whatever, and I'd go on stage and I'd play the beats, dudes would rap, they paid to rap, and then at the end I would rap, you know what I mean? And I would always have that stage, and then like we got seasoned that way, because then after you'd be outside freestyling, so it was like it was very hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like straight up very hip hop, and then, but at the same time I was making beats, and I was able to get off some beats in that world, in the underground world, and honestly I wasn't even getting paid for shit, and I had that mentality that it's like you gotta get heard before you get paid. You know what I mean? Like you gotta get heard. People, how you
You
gotta
gotta put work in.
And then on top of that is that when you build that resume, People don't know if you got paid or not. They just like, oh, you did that shit with
That's it.
Joe Button. You did that shit with Nature. You did this shit with, you know, I heard this. They don't know if you got paid or not. But it's like, oh, you want to be? All right, man. Well, you know, you got to throw me stacks.
That's cash.
You know what I
right
mean?
there.
Or you got to
Yeah,
throw me something. Because I have a resume now.
Of course,
You know what I mean?
You was building
That's
yourself
the
up.
Carfax.
Yeah.